Okay, so yes, the title is correct. We did create a ranking system for Super Auto Pets. I'll go ahead and address what's going on in the background though. This is just a random versus lobby that I was doing on stream, and you can kind of see the meta. I'll talk about the game a little bit, but I'm mostly going to be focusing on talking about the new ranking system. So, Donut Seeds, I guess, copied, or I don't know, just used the Microsoft True Skill algorithm, I believe it was called, to develop this ELO system. So pretty much all you have to do is input the results of a versus match, and then it will like give everyone ELOs, and it's pretty cool. So it's actually not too hard to do. The only problem is keeping track of what place everyone got in the versus lobby, which is why this was like, or normally I've been running kind of smaller versus lobbies on stream. That way it's not too confusing to keep track of everyone's results. And all you have to do to get an ELO is join the Discord and then participate in one of these matches. And then you'll get a ranking, and there's a leaderboard and everything, and you'll get like an ELO, and it's pretty cool. I really like it. It added something new to the game, and I feel like the game was getting a little bit stale after waiting a while for Pack 3 or like waiting for the test release to come out. But I'm glad, this is a nice little thing to mix up. So, also, just like the start of the versus lobby, otters are really good. It is just by far the best form of scaling. I like to think of it as like when you buy an otter, you're giving +2/+2 to a random animal, and that's like a pair, but you're also getting +1/+1 to the otter. So it's really more like sushi as far as the stats go, which is pretty insane early on. And that's not even counting the level 3 otter level up. And then you can also transition into a crab. And if you want to, you can go cupcake crab or just take crab and meat if you want. But yeah, otter is really good. So this whole ranking system, it adds something new to the game. Uh, right now, we can actually take a look at the leaderboard. So it's pretty new. So not like a ton of games have been played, and I've been just like doing the small lobbies on my stream. But right now, I am ranked number 11 with an ELO of, let's see, I should actually like look this up first. I don't know, like 2,700 or something like that. Number one is Cal with a rating of 3,500, and then number two is Tangle, three Snixor, four X, Laser, five Basti, six Basoli, seven Lemons, eight KB, nine Machine, 10 Cavaliers. So that's just like the current ranking system. Not a ton of games have been played. I mean, it goes like 5, 3, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1, 6, 13, 11. So those are like the amount of games. So not a ton of data. And over time, I'm sure they'll even out a bit. But still, like for people who are really good at versus lobbies, Cal and Tangle are certainly amazing at versus lobbies. Since no surprise to see them at the top. This only counts for versus. This is not for arena, and you do have to enter the results. So if you join like a random versus, it's not going to work out. Everyone who participates in the lobby in order for it to count has to be in the Discord. That way we can get an ELO for everyone. Otherwise, it messes it all up. So if you do want to join this, make sure you just, again, join the Discord. I'll put a link in the description here. And yeah, come check it out. If you want to play some games, I'll probably do some on stream. So I'll also put my link to the stream in the description. Just a bunch of things in the description. Do people even check descriptions? I don't know. Hopefully. Anyway, so as for this lobby game, so I got Badger and Ox. Those are really the tier 3s that you want. They're super good. Giraffe is also pretty good, and Turtle is also extremely good. So there's just a lot of really important tier 3s that can make or break kind of this versus lobby. Another thing that's really big is just getting snails. If you can roll like 3 snails in one turn, you get a huge advantage, and that's going to keep you going for quite a while. I also should mention that I did cut out the loading times in between this, so that you don't have to sit there and wait and like stare at the waiting for opponent screen for 30 seconds, because that's kind of the thing that happens. But the magic of editing. Yay, I actually did some editing. And so the name of the game is Scaling, or it's actually Super Auto Pets, but like besides that, it is Scaling. So you are mostly looking for monkeys, penguins, and like, yeah, I guess that's kind of it. Monkey and penguins, or a dragon. Dragon's like the alternate way to kind of win in a versus lobby. We got an early monkey, so extremely helpful. And now we just want to get like everything to level 2 pretty much, so that penguins can start scaling as well. And you want to get this, like, you want to level up the monkey and the penguin as soon as possible. I go with the front badger here, which is a pretty interesting strategy. So I don't always go with honey badger because winning is not actually the main focus. It's just living. So you're completely fine with draws most of the time, unless if you're like trying to throw on purpose for snails. But yeah, so draws are totally fine. You don't really care too much. Sometimes like saving that 3 gold for something else might be more important. But I often do take honey. I'm not gonna lie, because some other people will also take like a honey badger, and maybe that will matter. Although usually it just comes down to as a higher attack badger. You can see I pill something in front of the ox. It doesn't actually have to have any ability. You just can pill like anything. And I think it's worth it to just get the initial melon armor because that can be pretty helpful against like splash attack or just like a leopard in the future. And it gives +4 attack. So as long as it's like a level 1, I think it's worth it. If you once you start getting to like level 2s or like a level 3, you just want to sell it for sure to get the gold back. And I've got double badger. Badger's actually really good late game too. Its ability where it's like a level 2 makes it so you can punch through melon armor. So having that front badger can absolutely destroy people who put like their best units first. And you can see here it worked out really well. Uh, so I think did I mention that I think I mentioned my ELO. I was number 11 on the leaderboard and I'm trying to get better. You know, I don't think I'm the best versus player, but I certainly think I'm at least a top 10, so I'll keep going. The problem is I kind of had a rough start. Also got early leopard, which is really good because monkey scaling goes so well with leopard. That's pretty much exactly what you want. I guess the only thing that would be nice here would be have like mosquito instead of fish, but you can't really complain. Usually fish gets you wins early on because of the extra scaling. So it's looking pretty good. The optimal team for a versus match, I guess I should mention this, is that you have 4 leopards and 1 rooster. Most of the time, I actually don't go rooster. I've mentioned this in the past. I'm a bit of a rooster hater. I think it's a little overrated, but people love to go rooster in these lobbies. I'm personally more of a skunk fan. I think it's more fun. Plus, it's like more interesting. You know, there's a few different counters to rooster, splash attack, and fly mostly. And yeah, it's a little different to try to counter a skunk. But one thing that's really important in versus lobbies is to have good late game abilities. So in arena, you can just win with good stats. You just have like 50-50s, and you're pretty much gonna win. It's not really a problem. But in a lot of versus lobbies, the game will go on long enough where you actually can't just win with 50-50s, and you have to get something else. I'm fortunate there that the melon armor did not trigger first, but you know, higher attack goes first, so. And then I see a penguin, so it's pretty late. You'd think like turn 11, you're taking a tier 4, but scaling is just that important, I think. That's the reason I get level 2 ox most of the time, is because like just penguin, and right now it's only scaling 2 things, but we'll like get level 2 badger, level 2 leopard. It's usually not too big a problem, especially when you have chocolate unlocked, so that's pretty nice. And yeah, we're just going to be scaling very well. It's hard to scale an ox if you don't have a penguin because you can't really put it in the front. I mean, you can. It's just a little bit risky because if your melon gets popped by like a mosquito, it does not refresh. So that can be a problem. But normally I just go level 2 ox and penguin to try to scale it. But I don't always have to keep... What just happened there? That was crazy. The badger chains. You don't always have to keep like ox late game. Its ability isn't that amazing, but it's certainly better than nothing. Also, another really good unit in the end is a fly, just to pop melon armor, because most of the time every unit's going to have like melon armor or steak or something, so fly can be a huge difference. Of course, leopard also pops melon armor with its ability, so it's also very good. That's kind of the purpose of mosquito, is if you have a higher attack mosquito, which isn't too hard usually because you've had mosquito for quite a while, and if you've been like buffing it with otter, then it'll have decent stats. And then you can buff that so it's like a 50-50. You can buff the leopard so that the mosquito will pop the lemon, or not the lemon, the melon, and then the leopard will do actual damage to the units instead of the melon tanking it. I guess I'm just gonna end up talking about like the versus lobby instead of the actual ELO, but I guess it's like pretty self-explanatory. It's just a pretty cool thing to have in the game. I think like the devs, it seems like a pretty casual game, right? It's like a cute emoji auto battler. It's not really meant to be super competitive, but of course there's going to be a competitive scene for like every game, especially when this one is certainly focused around strategy. So It's up for debate how much strategy there actually is in the game when there is a lot of RNG. But I think I will say if you don't know what you're doing, then obviously your odds are going to be way lower to actually win. But once everyone kind of knows what they're doing, it becomes a lot of RNG. At least that's how I feel. Maybe I'm just bad. Callie and Tangle continue to like impress with how often they get top one or two in a lobby. But the way the ELO system works, oh man, I forgot to mention this. Yeah, hopefully like people actually stick through the entire video so I can actually explain things that I forgot earlier. But if you go against someone who's higher ELO and you win, of course you're going to gain more ELO. If you go against someone who's lower ELO, then you're not going to, I mean, you're going to lose a lot if you lose against them and you're not going to gain as much. So obviously, like if someone's higher ELO, it's I guess just better. There's no pressure. But if you don't know like what the ELO system is, I mean it's kind of a similar thing in chess. So they have like uh different stages. Like they have grandmasters, international masters, like other things, and you kind of achieve them once you can do certain things in tournaments and have a certain ELO. I mean, there's nothing like that for Super Auto Pets yet, but there is a Discord role, High Elo Gamer, that's available. Certainly worth it. Yeah, so actually lost here, even though I have an amazing team. Like, I guess we haven't quite got all the leopards that we need. It's also, you can also go like tiger leopard if you don't have room for like scaling with the monkey penguin. But I pretty much had sold so much of my team, so I could just afford to keep buying leopards and keep everything. So the team is just looking real good for the future. Continue to scale the leopard. And I got extremely lucky this game. I mean, I muted what I was actually saying on the stream, but pretty much it was like one of the luckiest lobbies I think I've had. We got early level 3 monkey, like early leopard, like got pretty much everything we wanted, and we saw so many leopards in the shop. Like we immediately saw another one right when we wanted to. And actually I didn't need to sell the penguin there. I could have waited one more turn, but that's all right. I was like I had such a good team that it didn't really matter too much. Uh so yeah, most of the time on stream, I'll be doing like 8-person lobbies to make sure we can count for everyone. And if you're worried about like cheating or anything like that, that's probably not going to happen. Anyone can submit a game, but if you're just going to submit a wrong game, you are adding the people that like you played against, so it's going to be pretty obvious if you like just make something up and you'll just instantly be banned. So definitely not worth it. Don't do that. Not that you would, of course. I'm sure everyone is very trustworthy on the internet from what I've heard. Uh, so yeah, at this point, I just am winning with the monkey scaling. A lot of times, in order to win at a lobby, you do need just like insane amounts of scaling. You need like level 3 monkey or like a level 3 penguin or like a level 2 dragon. Those are pretty much your options. Maybe you can go with like penguin cat or something, but I would say that there's only like a couple viable ways to win. I guess if you're in the paid pack, maybe you can go like chicken or something. Here, I decided to slow down the game so we could see all the beautiful snipes. Unfortunately, it didn't do quite as much as I thought. We only killed one thing. That's the power of having 50-50s. And again, we lose, which means we're actually unlethal. We're down to 3 hearts. So in a versus lobby, you start with 15. It's already turn 19, so you can see like how late game that versus lobbies actually go. Sometimes I do reduce the heart count, maybe down to like a 12 or something like that. I put a 1-up on the badger because it's pretty much the same as a honey badger, except actually a little better because the spawn will do the additional feint attack in case they have like a rooster at the back. But 12 heart lobby will decrease it so you don't go to like turn 20, because once you start getting to turn 20, you really do need like leopards and stuff in order to win. And it's not too fun to only have one viable strategy to win lobbies. But luckily I got it, so I'm not complaining. But it's hard to get every time, obviously. It's more fun if like multiple things are viable. And that's what I hope they change in the future, really, is like if they continue to nerf the things that are good, which is fine. Like, I mean, they're nerfing the right things, but if they want to make it so it's like more fun, I still think that they should be buffing all the weak stuff. We got that perfect melon for this last leopard, and we're going to be getting it pretty close to maxed out here, which is just amazing. And then the last thing I would do is sell the monkey and take a tiger, so that we would have 4 tigers and 4, not 4 tigers, we'd have 4 leopard attacks, and it would just be super amazing. It's so close to the optimal team. We just have a badger instead of a rooster. But yeah, I don't recommend like increasing the lives amounts. I think that 15 is already kind of too much, and it should scale with how many people are in the lobby. It actually used to do that, but for some reason they decided to change it, and so now it's just 15 no matter what. So 1v1s can end in like 10 turns, but these lobbies go like 20 plus, which is just too long. So that's kind of the issue with that there. But that's pretty much it for this video. Again, the links to everything is going to be in the description. So my stream, the Discord. Again, all you have to do is join the Discord and then join a game, and you'll get an ELO, and you can see how good you are. Test your skills in the game against all the other pros. You might be a little disappointed, but like maybe you're also just insanely good and no one knows it. You'll never know until you try, right? So that's kind of the fun. The 1-up Scorpion, kind of the last-ditch effort to try to just fill something. Level 3 fly, usually really good, but not against leopards. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See ya.